you won't believe this, and I'll go to Lance out of this. Watch what they're putting out now.
This country was built on slavery.
Again, everything that they release on this TV show is very questionable. Some of it could very possibly be fake. In fact, I would venture as far as to say it's likely fake. I don't even know if this came from Disney. I don't know if this is real in the first place. This could have been like some fan-made animation by somebody like Project Veritas to try to convince right-wingers that they're being persecuted, for all I know. So don't believe anything without looking it up yourself.
Slavery, which means slaves built this country, tilled this land from sea to sea to sea. First there was rice, tobacco, sugar cane. Then Whitney did his thing and cotton became king. And we were its soldiers, 4 million strong, fighting for America's freedoms, even though we remained America's slaves. Built this country. The descendants of slaves continue to build it. Slaves.
I didn't mean to do that. I hope I don't get like some kind of a copyright strike for this or something. That's very possible. But everything that they're saying right now is accurate. That's all true. I understand that Flashpoint doesn't like to acknowledge the fact that this stuff happened, but yeah, it happened. And this is an accurate description of the situation. This isn't like hating white people. This is just telling the story of what took place. What? What's the problem? Am I missing something? I'm not sure what they're upset about here. Okay, let's keep listening.
Strong, fighting for America's freedoms, even though we remained America's slaves. Built this country. The descendants of slaves continue to build it. Slaves built this country. And we, the descendants of slaves in America, have earned reparations for their suffering. And continue to earn reparations every moment we spend submerged in the systemic prejudice, racism, and white supremacy that America was founded with and still has not atoned for. Slaves built this country. Not only field hands, but carpenters, masons, blacksmiths, musicians, inventors built cities from Jamestown to New Orleans to Banneker, Washington. 40 acres and a mule. We'll take the 40.
Absolutely, yes, 100%. Did you hear what they said just now? 40 acres and a mule? Isn't that what slaves were promised when being emancipated and they never received it? I'm not seeing the problem. What's the problem here? Yes. I heard some mention of systemic white supremacy and stuff. Like, all of this is absolutely true. I can see them taking issue with this, but there's no reason to. Like, this is all very true. It's like in the State of the Union with Biden, the 2023 State of the Union. He got up there and talks about the national debt being 32 trillion or something, and he says, yes, the national debt is really high, but you know what? 25% of it was from Donald Trump. 80% of it was from Republican presidents blowing up the deficit. So, I don't know what to tell you about the national debt. It's your fucking fault, basically, is what he said. He didn't say that. He was a lot more polite about it, but he did say that a lot of it was Trump's fault and others. And, Republicans boo this, and Kevin McCarthy's sitting behind him, shaking his head, saying no. Yes, you can't say no to a fact. Well, you can say no to a fact. You're just fucking wrong. It's like they're denying reality here. And this is another example with this TV show on Disney, The Proud Family, talking about slavery. This is all true. What do you want? If you don't like these facts, then fix it. They're complaining about not receiving the 40 acres and a mule they were promised. If you don't like them complaining about it, fix it. If you don't like them complaining about the fact that they are systemically oppressed, then fix that shit. It's that simple. Fix it. You are the one standing in the way. Gene Bailey. You are standing in the way, Lance Wallnaw. You are standing in the way, Kenneth Copeland and Hank Kunneman. They are Republican televangelists at the very top of Republican culture. If they wanted something fixed or changed or done, they could do it. they could influence culture among Republicans to correct these problems. And what do? Complain about liberal indoctrination when what's being stated is a fact. It's a fact of reality.
40 acres, keep the mill. We made your families rich. From the southern plantation heirs to the northern bankers, to the New England ship owners, the founding fathers, former presidents, current senators,
the Illuminati, the New World Order,
slaves built.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, that was a joke, I guess. I guess they were... Maybe they shouldn't have put that in the TV show for kids, but the rest was correct. The Illuminati, the New World Order and stuff, that was garbage, but okay.
This country. We had Tubman, Turner,
Frederick D.
Didn't they say Lincoln freed the slaves?
But slaves were men.
And women. And only we can free ourselves. Emancipation is not freedom. Jim Crow, segregation, redlining, public schools, feeding private prisons, where we become slaves again. As we celebrate Juneteenth for the umpteenth time, our account is still outstanding. Cause this country was built on slavery, which means slaves built this country. And we demand our 40 acres and a mule. About that, you can keep the mule.
Keep the 40.
We're taking our freedom.
I love it. That's actually fantastic. Like, everything that they said was absolutely on point. What's the problem?
All right, so you saw that, and I wanted.
What's the problem, really? You know what the problem is? The problem is that it doesn't fit in with the narrative or the nice, neat little worldview that they want to exist in reality, which is the idea that white people got to where they are in the United States on their own and slavery didn't exist at all. That black people have always just been lazy and that's why they're behind socially and economically and all that stuff. Just because they're not very good is all. They're just not good at doing anything. That's the idea they're trying to perpetuate here. It's disgusting. Hank Kunneman, Lance Wallnaw, this dude on the right, and Gene Bailey, and everyone else associated with this, up to and including the owner, Kenneth Copeland, are the way that they view the world is disgusting. The way that they want everyone else to view the world is disgusting.
I want you to see that, ladies and gentlemen, because this is what they're feeding your children and your grandchildren. So grandma, grandpa, you might want to cancel that trip to Disney World and do something better with it. And instead of buying that Disney video or going to that Disney film, you should buy a Captain Zepto comic book and do some stuff like
a Captain what?
that.
Dude, I think that's Hank Kunneman's like cartoon that he drew or whatever. Isn't it Captain Zepto? Is that why he's smiling like this? I don't know.
I'm going to get that, Pastor Hank, but before that, let's go to Lance. Lance, this is, forget the...
You know, not for nothing, but that section in The Proud Family, I think is what it was. It's a TV show called The Proud Family on Disney. How long's that show been running? That was the very first instance of any kind of real pro-black anti-slavery messaging that show has put forward. You know how I know? Over the course of 15 years? Because Flashpoint hasn't covered it. And trust me, they watch this shit like a hawk. If there had been another example of The Proud Family or any other Disney show giving a pro-black or an anti-slavery message, they most definitely would have come out with it. They would have talked about it and screamed and cried and pretended they were being persecuted. They are pretending to be persecuted by somebody spreading a pro-black message. Seriously, how much more depraved can it get than this? Honestly. In 15 years or so, this is the only real message of pro-black that Disney has had. I mean, overt pro-black message. It's just disgusting, dude. That they can't deal with other people being proud of who they are. They can't deal with the idea that historically the black community has been oppressed and mistreated. They can't deal with that idea. They want you to believe that they haven't, apparently. Just disgusting. I first watched The Proud Family as a little kid with my first ever friend. She had a white mom and a black dad, and I never thought about her race then. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, you don't really think about race generally until you're kind of forced to, you know? But the black community, in large part, is forced to from day one, basically, you know? You don't realize what it's like to be persecuted for who you are until it happens to you. Then you know. I didn't understand what it was like to be persecuted all the way up until I was persecuted by Jehovah's Witnesses for not being one of them. That was the thing that made me understand. And now I know what it's like to be persecuted for being an atheist. But that's something you can hide. You can't hide your skin color. You know, that's something that people just have to live with and deal with every single day. And you don't realize how hard it is until you're there. To live in a country that doesn't respect you, doesn't like you, doesn't fucking care about you.